Some of the biggest trending stories. It ends with a settlement. The Blake Lively-Justin Baldoni legal battle comes to a close.
She went from America's effortless sweetheart to Hollywood's most contested figure in under 6 months. Not because of one moment, not because of one lawsuit, but because a press tour, a cocktail named after a fictional abuser, a decades-old wedding venue, and a 2016 interview with a Norwegian journalist all collided in the same news cycle. And there was no real person underneath the image to absorb the impact. Blake Lively's scandal is not actually about Blake Lively. It's about what happens when a brand built entirely on being liked meets a public that finally has a reason to look closer. And what they found, or didn't find, is the whole story. This video is not about whether she's guilty or innocent. The case is settled, the lawyers are gone, and honestly, that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is this. What does a real rebrand actually look like? Not a new dress, not a strategic red carpet, an actual, durable, believable return to public trust, because that is the harder thing, and we are going to map it out. Welcome to the Incredible Reinvention series, where we examine the concept of reinvention, both past and possible future, for our favorite IT girls across the globe. For almost 2 decades, Blake Lively held an unusual position in popular culture. Famous enough to be a household name, aspirational enough to generate genuine admiration, and uncontroversial enough that nobody looked too closely. The Serena effect was real. Her portrayal of Serena van der Woodsen embedded her in the consciousness of an entire generation of women, stylish, effortless, magnetic. She translated that into a real-life image with precision. Her relationship with Ryan Reynolds, the mutual public roasting, the carefully curated family content, all of it added up to a brand that felt authentic because it never asked you to question it. The Kirsty Flaw interview had been sitting on YouTube for years. The plantation wedding photos were in every gossip archive. Her team appeared to calculate that none of this material would resurface at scale. In 2024, in a high-attention controversy, that calculation was wrong. What they cannot forgive is the feeling of being managed. During the It Ends With Us press tour, Blake Lively told audiences to grab their friends, wear their florals, and head out to see a film about domestic violence and emotional abuse. She cross-promoted her hair care brand. She named a cocktail While You Wait after the film's abuser. The backlash was immediate. And her response? Days later, she posted a link to the National Domestic Violence Hotline on her Instagram story. An Instagram story, meaning it would disappear in 24 hours. There is a version of this situation that could have been managed with a single, well-timed public statement. Not an apology tour, not a press conference, but one direct acknowledgement that the promotional rollout missed the mark on tone. She never provided it, and the absence of that moment left audiences with no path back to sympathy. PR experts are clear on this. The celebrities who navigate public crises most successfully respond early, communicate consistently, and treat the public as capable of handling nuance. Stonewalling and silence rarely serve long-term reputation recovery. She did neither, and the public noticed. The deeper issue, the one underneath the cocktail names and the Instagram stories, is architectural. That image works brilliantly, until it doesn't, because effortlessness, by definition, cannot include accountability. You cannot say, I got this wrong and I'm working on it, without admitting that something was hard. And admitting that something was hard breaks the spell. As more information about the case was released, public opinion became more divided.
She started to complain that he was allegedly doing things inappropriate on the set, that she felt like he was writing in sex scenes that weren't there.
Sources said it looked very much like Blake had bulldozed Baldoni. The public didn't see that he'd done anything wrong. Whether or not that perception was accurate, it stuck, because her brand had no built-in capacity for complexity. Compare this to the plantation wedding apology, one of the few moments in her public life where she and Reynolds said plainly, "We're ashamed that in the past we've allowed ourselves to be uninformed about how deeply rooted systemic racism is." That apology landed. It wasn't perfect, but it was direct. It treated people as capable of receiving truth. That is the version of Blake Lively the public can work with. Not the one who makes everything look easy. The one who is willing to say, I got it wrong. Here is what I understand now. Here is what I am doing about it. That woman has a rebrand available to her. The effortless one does not. Step 1 is the one she has avoided the longest. A single, direct, unmanaged moment of honesty. Not about the lawsuit, not about Baldoni, about the press tour, about the cocktail, about the specific ways the promotional rollout got the tone of a domestic violence story wrong. She doesn't need to flagellate herself. She doesn't need to cry on a talk show. She needs one moment, one interview, one statement, one piece of writing, where she says, "I see why that landed the way it did, and I understand it now in a way I didn't then." That's it. That's the door. Step 2 is rebuilding with substance, not aesthetics. Engaging in philanthropy or championing social causes can help redirect the narrative. Angelina Jolie's transformation from Hollywood wild child to respected UN ambassador is a testament to the power of purposeful action in reshaping an image. Not a one-time donation, not a link in an Instagram story. A consistent, specific, visible commitment to something that connects back to the misstep. Domestic violence advocacy, survivor support, something that costs her real time and real proximity, not just money. And step 3, and this is the hardest one, is letting go of the brand, the effortless girl, the perfectly curated family, the humor that never admits to anything. That version of Blake Lively is what got her here. It cannot be what gets her out. Martha Stewart's reputation recovery after her scandal involved acknowledging her wrongdoing, showing genuine remorse, and communicating with the public. She served her sentence, rebuilt her brand, and resumed her career. And it worked precisely because she stopped protecting the image and started protecting the truth. Here is what Blake Lively's story is actually about. And it applies to every single one of us, famous or not. And then when the room turns, as rooms do, we have no self to fall back on, just the performance. And the performance has nowhere to go. The hopeful rebrand of Blake Lively is not really about PR strategy. It's about the question underneath it. Who is she when nobody is watching? And is she willing to let us see that? Because the people who actually come back, not just survive, but actually rebuild something real, are the ones who stop trying to manage perception and start telling the truth. And not because the truth is always flattering, but because it's the only thing that actually holds. Drop in the comments. Do you think Blake Lively can actually pull off a real rebrand? Or has the image cracked too completely to rebuild? I want to know where you land. Like and subscribe if you want more of these. See you in the next one.